Welcome to Rock City Cookies, where we talk about all things cookies. If you're new to the channel, hit that subscribe button and click the bell icon to be notified when we upload a new video. Thanks for watching. Welcome back to the Etsy series. In this series, we are talking all about how to open an Etsy shop to sell cookies. This series isn't just for cookie makers. Anyone can watch this series if you're interested in opening an Etsy shop. I am just specifically focused on cookies because that is what I know, since that is what I sold on Etsy. If you missed either the first or second episodes in this series, I highly recommend you go and watch those first. The first episode was all about frequently asked questions. I go through and answer any of the most common questions when it comes to opening your Etsy shop. The second episode walks you step by step through how to physically open your Etsy shop, which brings us to this episode, which is all about building your Etsy shop by adding more listings. So let's just jump right in. So if you are following along with my videos, you will have already created an Etsy shop, and all you need to do now is to go to Etsy.com and log in. Once you have logged in, you'll be taken here, which is called your back office. Once you have logged in, it actually takes you to your dashboard first. Your dashboard is actually your stats page. So it tells you your total views, it tells you your visits, how many orders you've had, and what your revenue currently is for your year to date. So that's why I didn't include that here, because I actually still do have an active Etsy shop. Only my shop now sells cookie cutters instead of cookies. So that's why I didn't show you what my dashboard shows, because the statistics aren't correct for what this video is, but it does show you helpful information at a glance. So it is nice to have that as the first thing you see when you log in. But for today's purposes, we need to be adding more listings. So on the left-hand side of your shop manager, you will see right under, you see search, dashboard, and then you see a listings tab. You will need to click on that and you will be taken to this page. This page defaults to showing you your active listings. However, on the side, you have a listing status and you can choose active, sold out, or inactive. You can also choose draft or expired. I just didn't happen to have any of those, so it didn't have that option for me. Now, I had all of these listings once upon a time on my page, but because I'm only selling cookie cutters now, these are all inactive listings. However, your default will be all of your active listings. So I'm just scrolling down, allowing you to see all of the listings, the cookie listings that I had on this page, just so that you can see that I had 109 different cookie themes and sets listed on my shop, and I could have even listed more. So I want to encourage you to list all of the different themes that you've done, because you never know what someone's looking for and what you might have to offer to fit their exact theme. Did I sell every single set? No, I sure didn't. But you'd be amazed at the sets that you do sell that you think that you might not. So I highly recommend, if you've made a cookie theme of any kind and you have pictures, just post it, because it's only costing you 20 cents and you just never know who will want that set for their party. So going back to the very first page, on each listing, you are going to see the listing thumbnail, the title of your listing, how many is in stock, and your pricing range. Now, because you had to create a listing to open your Etsy shop, you should see one listing here, which is the one we use to open your shop. I'm just going to click on one of my listings. I'm going to click on the heart cookies listing, just so that you can remember what a listing looks like once you're inside of it. So at first, you're going to have your photos. Again, you can have up to 10 photos per listing. Your primary photo, the very first photo, needs to be your best photo of the set, because that is what buyers will see when they are looking at your shop, when they are looking in a search field. That first picture is what they will see, and that is what entices them to actually click on your listing to see all of the other photos. All right, next up, you can adjust the thumbnail, which again is that primary picture. You can adjust it, you can zoom in and out to make your photo look the best it can look for buyers to click on your listing. And if you do make any changes by zooming in and out, be sure to always click on save. You do not want to lose your work, and make sure all of these pictures are watermarked. There are people in this world who will steal your work in your pictures. So you want to make sure that on your listing, every single picture is watermarked. If you're interested in a video that shows you how I watermark my pictures, I am happy to do so. Just comment down below and let me know that you'd like to see that. All right, in the next section, it's video. So this is where you can upload a video of your cookies. These are just videos I take with my phone when I'm photographing a set. I just take quick little videos for social media, which actually work great because I'm able to use them here on my Etsy listings as well. They can only be 15 seconds, so make sure you're taking a short snippet of a video, but I highly recommend while you have your phone out taking pictures of your sets, take short little videos as well. You can mess with the ratio size, but I tend to keep mine as the original video. And then scrolling down, now we get to the meat of our listings, which is all of the details for your listing. So while your picture and video is for the buyer, the listing details is mostly for the Etsy algorithm. So in your title, you're actually thinking of it as search terms. So your first couple words need to be for the buyer. That's what they're going to see. You want that to be what is the most searchable thing this set will be for. So your first couple of words need to be that. Then you'll separate everything by a comma, and then everything else is just search terms that this listing may pop up under if somebody is looking for something specific. Also, as a reminder, I go through each one of these steps very slowly in my last video. So the episode number 2, how to open up your Etsy shop, I walk you through all of the listings very slowly. I explain every single step and why you do every single step. So if this is too fast for you, please feel free to go back and watch that video. I'm just reviewing it here because it's important for understanding as you're building your Etsy shop with more listings. All right, moving on to about this listing. Who made the order? I did. What is it? It's a finished product. When is it made? It's made to order. Next up is category. So you are going to just in the search field type in cookies, and then it will automatically fill in all of the other items for this category. So as you type in cookies, you'll see cookie cutters here because also we sell cookie cutters, but you'll see cookies and then it'll automatically fill in all of those other subcategories. Next up is primary color. You're doing cookie sets, so you don't really have a primary color. You have a lot of colors. Secondary color, again, you'll leave that blank. The occasion, if you have an occasion, you want to fill that in here so that if somebody is searching for anniversary gifts, well, your cookies might pop up. If somebody's searching for any of these categories, your cookies have a higher chance of popping up in the search. Now, if it doesn't have a category, no big deal. You can leave that blank. Next up, renewal options. Always have this as automatic. Otherwise, your listings will expire. You won't know it, but then people won't be able to buy your sets. So automatic renewal. And when it renews after a listing expires, then you will get charged 20 cents. The type of product this is physical. Obviously, you're giving a physical, tangible item that you will actually ship. And then next up is the description box. Now, this box is full of text that you should have somewhere saved on your phone or your computer so you can copy and paste it. We did go over this in the last video, so I explained what's in this, but you are more than welcome to screenshot this from this video and add this wording to your listings. You may need to change it for your own personalization, but this is what will be your description for every single set. I never changed this. It was on the listing for every single cookie set that I offered. The only thing that you can't see here under ingredients, I had listed my own personal requirements for the cottage food laws. So if you have to state these cookies are made in a home kitchen, or if you have to list your address, whatever your state requires for your cottage food laws, it should be on this description box as well. So I actually do have it listed underneath the ingredients here. However, since this is a YouTube video and this is out for the whole world to see, I'm not going to show you that just simply because it did have my personal information on it. So just so you know, under the ingredients, I did have one final section that adhered to my personal state's food cottage laws. All right, let's move on to production partners. You don't have to worry about that. The next is the section, and this is optional, but I highly recommend that you do this. It's a way to organize your Etsy shop by different categories. So if someone is coming to search for cookies, they can look at all of your birthday cookies in one place by just simply clicking on birthday cookies. These cookies are heart cookies, so I could put them in a Valentine's Day cookies section. And if the holiday's coming up and it's Valentine's Day, they can click on that and see all of my Valentine's Day options in one spot. Now, you can only do one section per set. So that's a real bummer because like this heart cookies could easily be Valentine's Day. It could be anniversary. It could be appreciation. There's a lot of things that heart cookies could be. Unfortunately, Etsy only allows you to put them into one section. But no worries because all of your listings are still accessible on the home page of your Etsy shop. The sections just help you to organize your cookies. It's strictly for buyer experience. Next section is tags. This is optional, but I always complete this section because it's just like hashtags are used for social media algorithms. These tags are used for the Etsy algorithm. So just put in what you would use as hashtags on social media. Try to use those here. And then you'll go down to materials. And this is optional. I do not input this because it is actually listed in my description box. So I don't worry about inputting it there. I just move on to the next section, which is inventory and pricing. I'm going to say this one more time, but all of this is in such great detail in my last video, so I'm not going to spend much time here, but you are going to have variations in your pricing, and that's where you do it here. So you will need to title your variations as amount, and then it will say on your Etsy listing, it'll say amount, and then underneath the listing, it'll have a drop box. So because you have checked that prices vary for each amount, and over here you have listed the amount of cookies that you are going to sell. So either you can sell by the dozen or the half dozen, or you can actually just type out 18 cookies or 20 cookies or 30 cookies. However you want to sell your cookies, you will need to do so here. So in the listing, this will be a drop-down box, and next to the drop-down box will be the prices for each one of these. So this is absolutely 100% required to sell cookies on this platform because you need to alter the amounts that you are charging your customer for each dozen. So after you have typed it all in, if you scroll down, then you'll see the variations listed, and that is where you can put each amount for each dozen. So here I chose, this is a very simple design. So my 1 dozen for this design starts at 65, 2 dozen, 115, 3 dozen, 165, 4 dozen, 215, 5 dozen, 265, 6 dozen, 315, 7 dozen, 365, 8 dozen, 415, 9 dozen, 465, and 10 dozen, $515. Now this set was dead simple. It was just flooding hearts and sprinkling it with gold. So I didn't feel like I wanted to charge more than $65 for the first dozen, but you obviously will charge whatever your set is requiring. So this was one of my cheapest sets that you could purchase. Obviously my character sets were way more expensive. My more detailed sets were way more expensive. So that's totally up to you on how much you charge per dozen, but that is the field that you do it. Okay, and you want to make sure everything is clicked as visible. Otherwise, it won't show on your Etsy listing. Moving down to personalization. This is also something I highly recommend that you have on because this will give the buyer a prompt that says that you need included when they check out any color variations and the date of event. So when you have this listed on your listing, they have to input something into this field before they can check out. So I highly recommend you do this. Otherwise, you are going to be having to message them as soon as they check out and ask all of these questions. And let me tell you, there are some really awful people about messaging you back. And there have been times where I did not know the date of the event and I had to cancel their order because they never gave me that information. So be sure to have this personalization box on and have these prompts included. Okay, so please include name to be on cookies, birthday, number, and any color variations and the date of the event. Moving on to shipping. So this is something, shipping options, you will again do set up in your original listing, and you can go back to that video to see how that works. But you create shipping profiles so that you don't have to input this every single time that you create a listing. So I have one that is for cookies. Processing time is 1 to 4 weeks. I very, very rarely had anyone purchase cookies on Etsy that was later than 4 weeks. Where you'll ship, you want to have this listed. For me, it's North America only. Shipping services, you can have all of them listed so that people can choose how they want their cookies shipped. That is on them. They pay that, not you. So if they want to pay more for more expensive shipping, they can do that. That's not on you. That's on them. You aren't going to want to do free shipping. You are going to want to charge people for shipping. And then I always add a handling fee, and this covers my packaging costs. So this covers the cost of my boxes, bubble wrap, etc. So always add a handling fee to cover those expenses, and then you can name your shipping profile, and I name it cookies. So after you have a shipping profile set up, now every time on your listing, you can just click cookies and it'll automatically fill that in. Tariff information is something that's new, and it doesn't necessarily apply outside of the United States. So since I'm only shipping in the United States, I do not have to have that listed there. However, if you do have to have it listed, a quick Google search, if you put in cookies tariff, a quick Google search will give you a number to input there. Your item weight, honestly, this will change. You'll have to actually weigh your item when you ship it. However, I try to make sure that I have a decent amount here so that the people are charged correctly. So typically I'll put in 3 pounds, and then I'll put my box size here. So my standard box size is 11 by 4 by 2, and it kind of gives you an estimate here of the shipping price. Now, shipping price here says free because this is set up for my cookie cutter page, which if you spend more than $35 on cookie cutters, you get free shipping. But on this cookies, they would actually have to pay for shipping. So you do not want that option. All right, now that I'm done with my listing, you would actually publish this listing or save it as a draft, but I'm going to discard the changes since this was already a listing and I don't want to change anything. And then I'm going to click back on the listing and I'm going to hit preview, and it takes me to what the listing looks like to the buyer. So you can look through the pictures in the video that you uploaded to make sure that everything looks good. It's actually a continuous carousel, so at the last picture, it'll automatically start back over at the top again. To the right-hand side of your pictures, you will see the price listed. So that's what the customer will see when they're searching for this listing. So of course, it's going to show your lowest price available, which is $65 for this set, and it'll have a plus sign. That plus means that it goes on up from there. So it's not just a standard price. It shows how many you have available, and I highly recommend that you keep the quantity low because Etsy likes to tell potential buyers that that item is low in stock, which mentally pushes them to go ahead and purchase it over keeping it in their cart because it might sell out. So it's just a mental thing. So I would keep that number 5 or less when you're talking about quantity. Okay, here's where you have your amount in the drop-down box. So that's where they will choose however many cookies that they want. And then finally, you have your personalization box. So that prompts them that they have to input something there to answer your questions. Looking back at the listings that I did have on my Etsy shop, I did have like 4 tiers of pricing. So my first tier was $65. My second tier was $75. My third tier is $85. And my fourth tier is $95. So all of those tiers are there because of the amount of work that those sets require. So I highly encourage you to have different pricing tiers when you're listing on Etsy. So your easiest sets can be your cheapest sets, and work your way up to your most complicated, time-consuming sets. They can start higher. So I never had anyone question my prices because your prices are there. They can choose to buy from you or not. I never had anyone haggle with me on Etsy or complain about my prices because it was 100% their choice to purchase it or not, which is wonderful and so much better and easier than in-person pricing that you sometimes have to do when you're just conversing with people locally. So I would highly recommend price your cookies, keeping in mind the profit that you want to make. So again, 65, 75, 85, 95, and even on up, depending on the amount of work that you're doing for each cookie. Now, one listing that you need to have on your shop is an expedited rush processing fee. So I highly recommend that it doesn't matter how many listings you have, I would add this one onto your shop. And this is for people who order your cookies in a whatever time period that you say. If it is within that time period, that they would have to pay this additional fee on top of what they've already paid for cookies. So for me, if someone needed cookies within 2 weeks and I was able to do them, I would request that they pay this $25 fee before I did their cookies. If they were unwilling to pay the $25 rush fee, then I canceled their order on Etsy. I never had, well, I can't say never. I may have had a couple people cancel their orders because they weren't willing to pay that fee. But here's the thing, it's really difficult to get cookies within 2 weeks of an event. And so if somebody was placing an order that quickly, I was pretty much their last shot at getting cookies. And so almost everyone was willing to pay that extra $25. So I think it's worth it. I don't feel like taking on extra orders for no fee at all is worth the time or the stress. So for me, to make it worth it, to lose sleep and to stress out a little bit extra because I've got more on my plate than I had scheduled, I have to make it monetarily worth it. So the $25 additional on top of the Etsy, already higher Etsy, the prices that I'm requesting, to me, that made it worth it. So you put a number on this that you think it's worth it. If it's $50, great. If it's $75, great. You know, like you put whatever number on this that you think makes it worth it. For me, it was just an additional $25 on top of what they were already paying for my cookies, made it worth the added stress. Really quickly, I'm going to walk you through how to set up a rush fee for your shop. So in your back office, under your shop manager, you have the listings tab. When you click on that, in the very top right hand corner, there is a box that says add listing. Click on that. So of course you will have a completely blank listing, but I'm just showing you what my rush fee listing looks like. So the first thing you're going to need to do is add a picture. I think I actually made this one in an app called Word Swag that's on for iPhones. I'm not sure if it's for any other type of phone but that. But you can also do canva.com. They have a lot of free resources out there where you can make graphics really quickly. But you will want your graphic to say what it is and the cost that you're charging on the graphic. So immediately on your shop, the buyer can see, oh, this is the rush fee and this is the cost that it is, and there's no confusion. That's the only picture I add. And so then you will keep scrolling down, make sure the thumbnail looks centered and looks great. Then you'll not add a video. You don't need to worry about that. On the listing details, the title should say expedited/rush fee, one-time fee. All right, about this listing, it is a product I made. It is a finished product, and you will put the current date. Obviously, when I did this, it was 2020 to 2021, but you will put 2022 as your current date. Category, I still keep that under cookies. Primary color, you'll leave that blank. Secondary color, you'll leave blank. Occasion, you'll leave blank. Now we get down to renewal options. Just keep the defaults the same: automatic, renewal, and a physical type product. Description, you can screenshot this as well. I said expedited shipping processing, one-time fee of $25, must be purchased if ordering custom decorated cookies within 2 weeks of the event. Please message me for availability prior to purchasing. Thanks. Of course, use whatever wording that you would like to put there, but you're more than welcome to use mine. Production partners, you will leave that blank. We will go to section now. And if you want to put this in its own section so that the buyers can easily find it, feel free. You just open up your section, add a new section, and you could name it expedited/rush fee. That way, everyone knows that they can find it really quickly. I actually changed it to request, expedited/rush request there. So anyway, name it whatever you want, but I do think having a section specifically labeled that is a convenience for your customer. Under price, you will add whatever you are charging. Obviously, I decided to charge $25. Quantity, obviously, you can put whatever you want there, 10, 100, whatever you want. That just means that it'll be 100 times before that someone buys it before you have to actually go in and renew it yourself. Personalization, you don't need. Shipping, you will do free shipping because you don't want them to be charged for shipping on a product where it's just a fee, right? So in order to do that, you will actually have to set up a free shipping profile. Because you have not set up a shipping profile, you will need to actually click the link that says enter custom shipping, and then it'll give you all these prompts. Because I've already got this set up, I'm just clicking on edit so you can see what I did. You will need to put your zip code in the first box. And then the processing time default is 3 to 5 business days, but that's not actually what you need because you get dinged by Etsy if you do not complete an order in within that time frame. So you are actually going to want to click custom range and change it to 1 to 2 weeks, because again, somebody's buying this because they want their cookies within 2 weeks. So by changing the custom range to 1 to 2 weeks, Etsy will not punish you for not shipping out your cookies within that time frame and completing the sale. Where you'll ship, again, that's up to you on where you live, but I only ship in the US. What kind of services you'll use, I tend to put everything there. Even though I don't ship internationally, Etsy will filter those out because my cookie sales, I had the setting where I only ship internally inside of the United States. So it's whatever you do as wherever you live, based on if you do ship internationally or not. Just click all of the items that pertain to you and your shipping situation. Now, this is where you have your free shipping option. So you will need to check the box that says free domestic shipping. Handling fee is $0, and then you can name it free shipping so that you know that this shipping profile is for free shipping. Tariff information, you do not need. Item weight, you have to put in something. They won't let you leave those blank. So just put in ones all the way around. It doesn't matter because again, the shipping price is free. And then at the bottom where it says renew, your box will actually say publish. So you will click publish and that listing will go live. By clicking on preview, you can see what the listing looks like on your shop page. So your buyer will see the graphic and then it'll see all the information like the description and all of that on the right hand side. And there's also a message button on the listing. So hopefully they take advantage of reading that description, seeing that they need to message you, and then right under that is the message link to message you. So fingers crossed they actually do that before they purchase it. Otherwise, it's not a huge deal. You can just refund and cancel the order if it does not fit into your schedule. And don't worry, I will walk you through how to do that in a later video. Okay, I have one final thing on this video that I want to teach you, and that is a shortcut on how to do a listing fast. Now, when I started, I thought the only way that you could add a listing was by clicking on this black box up here that said add a listing under your listings section of your shop manager. Now, obviously these are all my cookie cutters, and so that's not helpful to this, but I'm going to go back down here to the inactive, and the inactive is all of my cookies listed. I still have those saved on here. They're just inactive. They're not actually listed on my Etsy shop. And the fastest way, guys, I am so mad that it took me so long to figure this out, but this is the only way I do a new listing now. The fastest way to do a new listing is to click on one of your previous listings and you go to this little settings, click on the drop down, and then go to copy. When you click on copy, it opens up a brand new listing that is an exact duplicate of what you already have. Now, why is this faster? This is faster because the only thing that you have to change is you need to change the pictures, you change the video, you change your title right here, but all of this stuff you don't have to touch because this is the same and it's already there for you, so you just ignore all of that. Now, you might need to change the section here. Obviously, I'm doing cookie cutters now, so I don't have any of these cookies linked to any sections anymore, but I used to. You will need to change the tags, your hashtags. You'll need to change those and make them applicable to whatever new set that you're doing. But your prices, if it's the same kind of set that you've already done, so if you have your pricing tiers, you're going to want to go to one of the same pricing tiers and copy that listing, because if you copy the pricing tier 1 where all of your cookies start at $65, guess what? That's all inputted. If you need this set to be priced at $95, well then go to a listing that already has all of the cookies priced at $95 and copy that one so that this is already listed for you. You don't have to do the variations. You don't have to do your price tags. They're already there by copying the listing and then just changing the details. So all of that will be the same. Your personalization will be the same, so you don't have to do that. Your shipping will be the same, and all of your shipping information will be the same. So by copying a listing instead of starting a brand new listing, you literally only have to change your pictures, your video, your title, and your tags. That is it in your section. That's it. Nothing else changes. So you are saving a massive amount of time by not creating a new listing from scratch every time. And I promise you, I did not know this for so long, and I wish somebody would have told me. So I hope this is helpful to you guys so that you know I'm going to go to a listing, whatever pricing I need it to be, and I'm going to copy that listing. So here, if I need my cookies to start at 75, well then I'm going to find a listing that's already price set at $75. I'm going to click the settings button and I'm going to click copy. I'm just going to change the things I need to change, and then I can hit publish copy. And when I hit publish copy, it keeps my old listing and it publishes this new listing with all of the new information. So it's much faster. So definitely when you have your listing, you already have one listing. You have your very first listing that we used to open up your site. So with that listing, don't start a brand new listing by pushing this button. Go ahead and just copy that listing so that you have it ready to go and just change your information. I hope that helps. I wanted to walk you through the traditional way first because I wanted you to really understand what is a listing and what all the different things are. I wanted you to see those again because having a good understanding of all the sections really helps you to understand your Etsy shop. So I wanted to walk you through the long way first so that then this shortcut can be easy breezy for you and you can add all of your cookies. Now, I do want to mention one other thing. In the last video, I told you to make sure to put your shop on vacation so that while you were adding all of your listings, sorry, I keep showing my cookie cutters because this is my actual shop manager for my cookie cutter page, but all of your listings, anything that you do when your shop is on vacation is private. Only you can see it. So I tend to like to put a few listings on my shop before I go live. Now, do I think that you need to have 109 listings before you go live? No, not at all. I would suggest starting with about 5 to 10 listings on your page first, and then you can move off of vacation mode and go live. That way you have a little bit for people to see. So if they come to your page, you're going to have some things on your page where people can see them. Again, this is my cookie cutter page, but you can kind of get the premise. So you want people to come to your page and see things on your page. Okay. And so that's why I suggest having 5 to 10 listings at first before you go live. Now, I don't think that you have to have all 109 sets or however many. No, I worked on that. It took me a long time to put all of those cookie sets on there. So just start with a few, let your page go live, and then continually every few days, I would make it a goal every week to have more listings put on my page. That way, your page is always getting bumped up in the algorithm. Etsy's saying, oh, you know what? This person's active. Look, they keep adding stuff to their shop all the time because they're active. I'm going to bump up their listings up to the top of the algorithm. So it's helpful to constantly be adding things to your shop, but also it's helpful to build the confidence and just start small and build up. You don't have to have a completely polished page to start, but I do recommend that you have a few listings there. Now I'm going to remind you real quick before I leave you where the vacation setting is. You will go to settings, and all of these little options are going to pull up. You need to go to options under your settings, and then you have tabs across the top, and one of them says vacation mode. So you will want to make sure that your shop is on vacation when you first get started and while you're building a few listings on your page. So click on your shop is on vacation. When you are ready to go live, you are going to have to go back to this page and click off your shop is active. Now, while your shop is on vacation, you can absolutely have something right here that explains why your shop is on vacation. You can say, I'm building my shop. We will go live soon. You can put a date if you want to put a date. You can say something fun and cute right here. As you can see, the last time I had our vacation mode was in February. So it's June now. So we did take a little break in February because I was having some surgery. So you can put anything in this box and it will show on your shop page as soon as somebody clicks on it, that will be the message that appears. So you're more than welcome to put something there, or you don't have to put anything at all. And it just says Rock City Cookies is taking a short break. They can sign up to be emailed when you go live. Anyway, I wanted to make sure that you understood while you're setting up your shop, be on vacation. Take the pressure off. Make sure that way you can do whatever you want and not worry about people seeing it and not worry about people buying cookies before you're ready. So build up your shop, put it on vacation, and then come back here when you're ready to go live and click the off button, and then everything's public and people can see all of your listings and they can start shopping. Okay, I hope that was helpful. The next video will be about all of this lovely back office things right here, what all of these things mean. So we'll go over your shop manager, your back office next video. If you have any questions in the meantime, please let me know. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.